Hello friends of the channel. If you're new here, my name is Rob. We are hanging out today inside Big Rob's van. And in case you can't tell by the shirt, I'm currently on furlough. That's right. I am technically a government employee. That's what I do in my day job. And I am not going to work right now, and I'm not getting paid right now, which gives me some free time to hang out in the van. So I just got back from a 2-day trip up and down Route 66. I'll be editing that video together. But one of the questions that I have been getting is, now that I'm currently on furlough, what am I going to do? I could go anywhere. I could drive anywhere. I suddenly have some free time on my hands that I wasn't expecting. And so I've had a list of places that I've been wanting to visit recently, and unfortunately, I recently marked one of those places off of my list. So let's just get into it.
Big Rob's van is cruising down the old dirt road with the engine roaring loud. It's where the stories grow. Tales of midnight races and the places we would go. Big Rob's van, yeah, rolling like it should. Big Rob's van.
So before I tell you which state I have recently marked off my list of places to visit, let me tell you, I have been to all 50 states. So I have driven all across the country. I've seen lots of cool and great things in every state of the United States. And this state is no exception. So it's nothing personal against that state, but really it's about some legislation and some laws that they have recently passed that have made me have to take this state off my current list of places to visit. And unfortunately, that place is Tennessee. So let's talk a little bit why I have taken that state off of my list of places to visit. Number one is a law that Tennessee passed in 2022. This is referred to online, if you want to look it up, as Tennessee's camping law. And what Tennessee's camping law states, and this was passed in 2022, is that camping on public property is not only illegal, it is a felony. It is a Class E felony. So what does that mean to you? That means if you are caught camping on public property, you can be arrested, you can be put in jail, you can be put in prison for up to 6 years, and if you are a convicted felon, that means you lose your ability to vote, which right now is a very important right to have. So camping in public property, that includes what I do. That includes stealth camping. So do I think if I were parked somewhere and a police officer came up that I would immediately be arrested and go to prison for 6 years? Probably not. I would probably be asked to move. It probably depends on where you're at, but I don't want to take that risk. I mean, that feels like a hostile environment, a place that they don't necessarily want me to be. The second reason I will not go visit Tennessee right now in my van is because they have passed legislation that limits the amount of time you can sleep in your vehicle. In the state of Tennessee, it is illegal to sleep in your car for more than 3 hours at a time. And if you're wondering, yes, that does apply to rest areas. In fact, it is illegal in Tennessee to sleep overnight at a rest area. Now, to me, I mean, I get it, the rest areas are put there for people who are on road trips and need to pull over. They maybe use the facilities and take a little cat nap. But there are lots and lots of people who drive and plan on staying in a rest area and sleeping there overnight. Not in Tennessee. You cannot sleep in your car for more than 3 hours. Now, again, if you are caught sleeping in your car, maybe an officer is watching you and you're in your car at a rest area for 3 hours and 1 minute, maybe he'll come and knock on your window and tell you to move along. So I believe Tennessee has a system in place where if you are caught sleeping in your vehicle for more than 3 hours, you will be asked to move. And if you are in that same place 24 hours later, you will be arrested. So technically there's a little bit of a grace period built in there, but again, it's not necessarily about the 24-hour grace period. What it's about is that police officers are looking for people who are sleeping in their vehicles for more than 3 hours at a time, And that's Big Rob. That's would be the whole plan. The whole point of the trip would be to go to Tennessee, to go visit things, go see things, and sleep in this van. So that just seems like they don't want people, I mean, it doesn't seem like they don't want people sleeping and staying in their vehicles. And so if that's your plan, then you probably don't want to do that. The third reason I would not go to Tennessee right now actually doesn't have anything to do with specifically with Tennessee, but it does lead into my fourth and final reason. But the third reason I would not go is because of President Trump's recent executive order, which I believe is called his plan to end, I think it's vagrancy and crime in the streets or something, which is something tough to disagree with, right? Like who is pro street crime? No, I don't think anybody is. And so if you read through the executive order, this has been a hot topic on the internet. A lot of people have talked about it. A lot of van lifers have talked about it. I haven't really got into it, but the executive order goes through certain things and it says like, we're against people hurting children. And then you go, like when I read it, I go, well, me too. Again, it's very front-loaded, and it makes it difficult to disagree with the whole thing because, like, I don't know very many people that are pro hurting children, right? And so, but if you read down through it, it says the goal is to end vagrancy and street crime, and how do they plan on doing it? Well, if you read through, one of the initiatives of the executive order says one of the goals is to put an end to urban camping. Now, I've had a lot of pushback on my video about stealth camping, and a lot of people have said stealth camping isn't camping and blah, blah, blah. We could go run around in circles about the technical definitions, and that doesn't matter to me. Here's what matters to me is stealth camping. And by that, I'm defining stealth camping as sleeping in my vehicle in a place that is not designated for vehicle sleeping. So that's a parking lot. That could be city parking, street parking, whatever you want to define that as. Okay, urban camping, the definition is camping in a city in a place that's not designated for camping. Stealth camping falls under the definition of urban camping, period. So if you read this executive order and it says we are declaring war more or less on urban camping, that means you if you're stealth camping, and that means me. That means anywhere, not just Tennessee, but anywhere in the United States, if you are urban camping, it's open season on you. So again, this isn't specific to Tennessee, and it's going to lead into the fourth thing, but I want to talk about a couple of different things. One thing it says is that they want to put an end to vagrancy, and the other thing is they want to put an end to loitering. Okay, I pulled up the legal definition of each one of those things. Of course, it's in a super small font here, but it says vagrancy is the condition of a person wandering from place to place without a job or fixed residence and with no visible signs of support or income. Okay. Vagrancy can be applied to a lot of people. I mean, the legal definition is someone who is wandering from place to place. Now, if you were to tell an officer, I have a home somewhere and I'm on vacation, maybe that gets you out of a vagrancy charge. If you live in a van full time and you're going to place, that meets the legal definition of vagrancy. They can technically say you are a vagrant and you need to leave the area. That's not good. The other one is loitering, and I won't read the legal definition, but I'll tell you the gist of it. What the gist of the legal definition of loitering is being in a place and not doing what that place is designed, or using the services that place is designed to offer. So for example, if you are in the lobby of a movie theater, but you're not there to watch a movie, you're just hanging out, that's loitering. So we all understand what that is. There are certain things that get gray. If you're in a library and you're not using any of the library's services, technically, that could be considered loitering. Now, if you have a book, now a library offers books, you're using a computer, maybe you're even charging something, that's a service that they offer, you could argue, hey, I'm in the public library and I have a reason to be here. I'm not loitering. But there are a lot of, it's such a ethereal term. Like it's not a concrete thing where you could say like loitering. It doesn't have to mean, loitering doesn't say you're in an area for 60 minutes. Or loitering doesn't say you are exactly doing this. Loitering can be applied to almost anybody that's almost in any place. So think about this for a second. If an officer decides that the definition or the purpose of a public park is to be enjoying the park, walking on a walking trail or sitting outside or doing, enjoying the park, and you're not doing that, maybe you're sitting inside your vehicle, that could be considered loitering. Loitering is a very loose term that is not only interpreted differently state by state, but city by city, municipalities, cities, anybody can define what they think loitering is, and it can get down to an individual officer who can say, I think this person is loitering. So you have this executive order that basically says we are declaring war on urban camping, vagrancy, which is wandering from place to place, and loitering, which is hanging out at places and not doing what that place is designed to do. Like, is a lake designed for me to sit out here and make YouTube videos? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I don't know. Maybe I'm loitering right now. But again, that's not Tennessee specific. But what is Tennessee specific is the fourth reason on my list, and that is...
It depends on which troops...
...announced plans to send National Guard troops to Memphis. All this comes after similar deployments to Los Angeles and Washington, D.C., where he said the Guard helped to fix local issues.
I got to tell you, I've been all over Tennessee. When I was a little kid in 1982, I went to the World's Fair in Knoxville, Tennessee. Our family went there. That was the first time I went to Tennessee, but I have been to so many places. I went to, is it called Magic World or Magic Mountain? I have to look it up, but we went there and had a great time. I got to meet Frankenstein and Jaws. So what vacation? I think we met King Kong too. What vacation do you get to meet all those crazy things all at one time? And as an adult, I have gone back to Tennessee many times on vacation. I've taken my kids to Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. They've been to Nashville. I took them to all sorts of fun stuff, but we've also been to Memphis. And I think Memphis is kind of the heart and soul of Tennessee. We've done the tour of Sun Records, which is a really fun tour and a really great historical perspective of music. We did the Gibson Guitar Factory tour where they make guitars like Les Pauls and things like that. We went to the Rock and Roll Museum. We've done all kinds of cool stuff, but probably the most poignant and the thing that had the most impact on me was visiting the Civil Rights Museum, which is located in the Lorraine Hotel, which, if you're not familiar with that, is the same hotel where Martin Luther King was assassinated on his balcony. And so to go to that place and spend a couple of hours revisiting that time in our country's history where people were so upset with one another and could not get along, that there's some lessons to be learned there for sure. History does have a way of recycling and repeating itself. So that's a good place to go and kind of reset your life a little bit. So, as this furlough drags on, like I said, I just did a trip up and down Route 66. I spent a couple days, and I'm really looking to get on the interstate and head out and go somewhere, go anywhere. I've got the time right now to go do that. And I got to tell you, I'm about 8 hours away from Memphis, and that was one of my plans. But between all these rules now of not being able to sleep in your vehicle for more than 3 hours, for having this movement on against urban camping, and then of course, with the National Guard going in there. And again, I don't have anything against people who are part of the National Guard. I'm not against those people, right? But here's the problem with that, is that they're going to deploy all these National Guard troops in that area. And they've already made it clear that they're not doing police work. They're there to assist police. And so what we saw in Washington, D.C. was they're not doing traffic stops. They're not doing things like that. So more or less what they're doing is being visible. They're walking around the city. They're making their presence known. And I think the goal is if they are visible, then that would deter a certain amount of crime. The problem is these guys are bored, right? And so there's a lot of footage of them in Washington, D.C. picking up litter. There's a lot of footage of them walking around and just talking to people and checking on people. So if you get a couple hundred bored troops in a city and they're walking around and you're sleeping in your car, they're going to find you. They're going to come knock on your window and ask what you're doing. And they know you're not supposed to be there for more than 3 hours. They know that there's an executive order against urban camping and vagrancy and loitering. So, yeah, I can't recommend going there right now. I'd love to go visit Memphis. Again, Memphis has some great barbecue. They have, if you haven't spent a night on Beale Street, it's a fantastic place to go. But right now, I really recommend you avoid it. So the weather's nice right now. So maybe I'll head west instead of east right now. Maybe I'll head north. Yeah. Maybe I'll go get my fishing pole. Sounds like a good plan too. Anyway, whatever I do, I'm going to take you guys with me. Thank you guys so much for all the subscribers. You know, I've watched new subscribers, more and more people come on. I don't know why you're here, but I hope whatever you're looking for, I hope I'm able to give it to you. And so we're just going to go have a good time. We're going to go have more fun adventures. So let's do that. I'll see you guys soon. Why do I end every video like I think I'm on MTV? I'll see you soon.